Hi Horde, and welcome back to this series of videos I am doing about DIYs you can do with little wooden signs that you can find just about everywhere. Today's subject actually was from the Dollar Tree during Valentine's Day. You may note there was indeed a little 3D piece of wood glued on there, and I have actually already popped that off in preparation for this project. There's actually still a little bit of it stuck on there, so I may excavate that right in front of you. Anyway, so there it is. Now it's ready. What we are going to do today, I love these tiny little square ones as dice trays. We made a couple of these from signs we actually found in the Target dollar spot right before our wedding, and we ended up putting them out at our wedding. I will maybe flash to some pictures or something because I didn't bring them over here to show and tell. But we are going to do a similar concept today, and this is actually cheaper than those were. Those were $3 each, I believe, and this was $1 because it was at the Dollar Tree. And they do put these out for a few different holidays, so you really just have to go and take a gamble and see if they have them. Or again, if you don't really like this shape, find whatever shape you do like, obviously. I just happen to, like, for a dice tray, I really like specifically small and square, like within 6 to 7 inches and square. So this is, I love this. This is prime dice rolling for me. Obviously, my first step is going to be to paint this, and probably a lot. So we will go ahead and start painting. But in the meantime, the other things we are going to do to this is we are going to inlay some felt. So you will need some felt and some glue to glue that down. And I will actually be adding a decorative iron-on, which I'll be cutting out with my Cricut. It's optional. If I showed the pictures, when I showed the pictures before, my husband's is the one that does not have one, and then the one with the cute little Sailor Moon iron-on, that's the one I made. So to prime and try to cover this artwork here, I, instead of trying to do any sanding or anything, which probably wouldn't be that effective, I've never been that good at it in the past, and this chipboard isn't really made for sanding anyway. I'm just gonna have to do several coats of white, and probably several because I don't have anything nice and thick. They've got this sort of watery white paint, and I'm working with what I got because right now is not the time to be going to stores that I don't really need to go to. And I'm gonna do this top and sides, but I am also gonna do the inside because that's where we really want the most of our color anyway. So my primer coats are done. I did go over the inside, but I didn't pay too much mind to this except for the sides here. The inside sides, but that inside bottom there, I've done a little less well, just because it's gonna get covered with felt, is the plan. So it doesn't really need to be perfect down there. I've decided that I really want to do a pearlized blue. What I have learned about these paints is that they are very like thin, and it takes so many coats if you don't put something underneath it. So I am gonna take this blue, which is not quite as light of a blue as this pearlized blue, but it is the lightest not mint blue I have. I have a lighter mint blue, but it's too green. The color of this base coat I'm going to use is really only going to affect the color of this one a little bit. I have used these Martha Stewart pearlized metallics and whatnot several times, And I'm always pretty happy with how it turns out, so long as I just have something close enough under it. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 1 to 2 coats, probably 2 coats of this baser blue, and then 2 to 3 possibly, depending on how I feel, of the pearl. And we'll come back when all of that is done, and we'll start working on the felt. So now with our paint job complete, we are going to move on to adding the felt into the bottom, which of course you don't have to do necessarily, but it does really dampen the sound. Like, it's pretty loud, just dice on wood like that. And it is a little bit nicer and softer with the felt. Also, it's decorative. Yay! So I'm going to take our ruler. We're going to measure the inside dimensions of this. Let's see, that is not quite 5.5. Alright. And just because I did buy this at Dollar Tree, so I can't be sure that it's perfectly squared, I'm gonna double check. It does seem like it is a tiny bit not perfectly squared. So I'm gonna start with a perfect square on this one though, and then chisel down from there, because that is going to be the easier way to do this for me. So that is just short of 5.5 inches. Set that aside. And then I have one of these really great see-through quilting rulers y'all have seen in the past. And you've seen my little chalk wheel thing, and I love these items, so that's what I'm going to be using today. Alright, with everything all squared up, I'm just going to make a line all the way down, like so. And then the same this way, line it up on my chalk line. Get that last little bit going there. And that is exactly where I want that. Alright, and we're going to cut that out and see how it fits and work on it from there. Alright, so based on the way this is fitting, I need to do just a little bit on 2 sides there. Alright, now it does fit. Although you can see I did maybe take a little too much off here, but that is why I did get the edges painted, so that if it didn't perfectly meet up, then it would be all right. Actually, it fits better that way. So there we have it. And before we glue this down, we are gonna iron on a cute little iron-on there, which of course is optional, but I'm gonna do it. So I have this bat that I cut out with my Cricut out of some Cricut iron-on just a couple days ago, right before I had to cancel my Cricut subscription, because, you know, it's that kind of time. But yeah, so I've got it all weeded out, and I'm just gonna pick how I'm gonna place it. I think actually I want to put it up a little centralized. And this is, I designed this, I decided it should go diagonal instead of straight. I thought it would look more visually interesting that way. There we go. That looks nice and balanced to my eye. And now because this plastic coating here is plastic and would absolutely melt pretty quickly, you do need to use a press cloth with this iron-on material. And since I am using this other piece of felt, I might hold the iron down a little longer than you're supposed to. Generally it's about 10 seconds. But I am working through a thicker material because I did not grab a better pressing cloth. You might actually supposed to be to use no steam, but I forgot there was water in my iron, so bad on me. And you'll pretty much know it's ready once it actually sticks down. Oh, that is not sticking down, so never mind, it's not ready. Yep, that is gonna cause some issues. Okay, so it's having difficulty, so I actually went and dumped all the water out of my iron. And now, this is going better. So you can see I have a wrinkled half. Or maybe you can't on camera. Yeah, you can. I definitely have a wrinkle half from where I messed that up. But oh well. This is for personal enjoyment. I will make another one for perfection's sake. And with these, they do want you to flip it over and do like another 10 seconds to set from the back side. I'd also go grab a different press cloth. I was having all kinds of trouble. I might have also been trying to peel it off too soon. I wasn't letting it cool down and then peeling the plastic off, which I believe you're supposed to do. But sometimes I just behave as though I know what I'm doing instead of rereading the instructions to be sure that I know what I'm doing. Alright, so there we have our half wrinkly bat. And we're gonna glue that down. So I've placed it in there just to remind myself which orientation it goes in, since it does have a directional. Today I am legit gonna use gym tack. This is not necessarily the traditional use of gym tack, but it's a pretty good glue for many purposes. And that's what I'm gonna use. I have also used Mod Podge to glue felt into these, but sometimes it doesn't like to hold. I'm using a wet paper towel for just a little bit of cleanup because I was not as careful as I maybe should have been with my gluing. All glued down, and you just gotta wait for that to dry. before you try to do anything too intense with it. So despite messing up a little bit with the iron-on, I'm actually really fond of this color scheme and the way this turned out, and I am super happy with this, and I'm gonna keep it for myself. I might have had plans to do something else with it, but certainly after messing this up quite a bit, and actually being in love with it anyway, I'm keeping it for myself. My husband and I have had a lot of fun making some various dice trays, as I said at the beginning of this video, which was days ago. Clearly I'm dressed completely differently. So much has happened in that interim. Wow. But here we are on the finished side of the project, and I am gonna keep making these because I adore making these things, these dice trays. If you liked today's project, things you can do that help me out are like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you treasures next time.